Hello, peeps. Back again. Yes, I am. Now, this is the shirt that I picked up at the thrift store that I am absolutely in love with. On the side down here, it's got 3 little wooden buttons that just are for pretty. And this thing looks like the raspberry and orange sherbet. It's wonderful. The camera really doesn't do the orange side justice. I'll have to see if I can fiddle with that in the post filming. And let's see if we can get started here. Now, I want to remind people, I'm going to be 67 years old in a couple of months. And no matter what anyone tells me about being 67 and acting my age, I have to remind them I have no idea what my age is supposed to act like. It's the first time I've been it. But I also absolutely still love color. Love color. So, yeah. If you love color, regardless of your age or what you're doing, I even used to be colorful going to work, which sometimes scared the hell out of people. They thought I was going to frighten the clients. And I'm going, if this frightens the clients, they got worse problems than just me. Let's see how well I got this covered. Yes, that is a CPAP crease. It's what part of the mask comes across my face, and some days it is polite and disappears quicker than others. Apparently, polite is not the way we're going today. Yes, I'm using a sponge. I don't know why, it just occurred to me to do it. Now, this is the size of the sponge when you first get it. And that's wet. It's been wrung out the way you're supposed to, so it's only a little bit wet. But there you go. This thing is wonderful. Oh, and it's so soft. So soft. Now, I'm going to put a little concealer on. Little lip here and there. This is a Wet n Wild concealer that I've had for a bit. And it's being a little tuggy right now, but that's okay. Once it warms up, it'll be just fine. Got to cover up them little blue veins that run at the bottom of my eyes. And as my eyes age, we know about aging. It's a privilege, and I am grateful for it because it means I'm getting to see my grandchildren grow up. Currently, the youngest grandchild I have is 13. 13. No, I must correct myself. He turned 14 this year. And he was a tiny little thing the first time I laid eyes on him. Tiny little baby. And now he is well taller than me, headed to taller than his mama, and she's a tall woman, and is catching up with his daddy, who is a good bit over 6 foot. Not too bad. Now, the oldest of the grandchildren I'm not going to tell on for their age. They're adults. And they were loners. I had people in my life who I considered my children before we found Charlie, my son. And they were happy to call me Ma. And when their children were born, I got called Grandma or Granny Annie, which confused the biological grandparents just a bit, but it was okay. We explained things and they were cool with it. It was just confusing that all of a sudden there's like 3 sets of grandparents and they're going, the hell's going on? And I love those children to death. They are both bright and beautiful. And both of them are smart as a whip. They're old enough that I don't get to see them as much because they're off doing their own things. Like I said, they are adults. And having a blast on their own. Every so often I hear back from them. Every so often I annoy them with messages. Now, in the monitor, I'm looking fairly well lit. In my little space right here, I'm not quite as well lit when it comes to looking into my mirror to make sure I can be seen. Now, do I want to use that one? Or do I want to use this? I want to use this one. And we know I want to use this one. This is my Ace Beauté. My primer, which is some of my most favoriteest things in the whole world. Because it's so good. It's wonderful. It goes on nicely, and I'm still working on a tube of it that I got in an Ipsy bag long ago. When it finally runs out, I'm going to have a cow. Let that get itself a little set up. I'm going to put just a little bit of powder under my eyes as soon as I remember what I did with my... Now see, I keep trying to do this thing where I get everything out and everything ready beforehand, and there's always something I forget, at which point you get a thorough view of the top of my pointed head. Well, I try and figure out what I did with whatever it is I'm looking for. Got it. Now, there are some people who will tell you not to powder under your eyes if you are of a certain age. Now, me, I like to put just a little bit of powder over the concealer to make sure it's not going anywhere. Just don't get crazy, because if you get crazy, not only does it look more crepey, it looks really, really dry and dusty and cakey. It's like, get something that's lightweight, finely milled, and go at it a bit at a time. You don't have to cover the whole world with a thick layer of powder, and do not just pile it up. Again, thickly. Do not pile it up thickly and do the bake. Because, honey, we've already been baked. Seriously baked. Get that more down along the eyelash line. Don't want any naked places. Yeah, there's a difference between naked and naked. Naked means you got no clothes on. Naked means you got no clothes on and you're up to something. Yeah, I'm a crazy little old woman. Now, I am gonna use the Ace Beauté Nostalgia. It's been a while since I've had her out. And let me tell you, we got a pretty girl here. She is gorgeous. Yes, I have yet again done my best to prevent interruptions. And we will yet again have a few interruptions. Just because. Now, I've got a color in here called Popsicle, which is kind of a, it's kind of a dusty orange. And I'm going to start with that right in here and go crease chasing. Just kind of tap it on. If you've got crepey eyes, where the skin has started to get loose, and you don't have to be old to have crepey eyes. You can just have it as a matter of heredity or your skin texture or whatever. Pat that on. The windshield wiper thing, if you've got crepey skin for any reason, it's going to bunch up and you're going to end up with tiger stripes where you wanted to have a fairly solid color. And tiger stripes are not what you're going for unless that's what you're going for. If you're doing some kind of cosplay thing where you want tiger stripes so you can fill those in with something else, try to avoid pulling the skin back and forth with the windshield wiper motion. Just tap it in. If you've got a decent eyeshadow primer, it'll hold, it'll grab, it'll take the powder, it'll take the color, and it will keep it where you want it. Now, there's a lot of people that says do the off eye first, so it's easier to match on the on eye, better known as stronger hand, and less strong hand. So, if you're right-handed, start left. If you're left-handed, start right. And I forget. I don't do it. I probably should, but I just don't. If I remembered, it might happen. Remembering remembering is really not my strong suit. Now, let's put just a little feathering out here. I've got a kind of a beigey tone in here that I can use to blend it out if it looks too bright at the edge. It's called Beach. Now, this part of the eye is more often a little less crepey unless you've got like crepey eyes that have crawled all the way up to your eyebrows. It happens. It can happen. And you can get away with a little bit of the wiper and washer when you're trying to blend an edge. Windshield washer. Use that little bit of sandy brown to put this together. And then we will see what we are going to do next. Now, there's actually a color in this palette called Raspberry. It's a little more intense than the raspberry in the shirt. But I'm going to start with it in the corner. And then there's another one that's called Flip-Flops that I may use a bit of going farther across. Oh, look, my husband's knocking at the door. I think he wants me to come to dinner. I may take a break, my dear folk, and go eat my dinner. And then I will be back. What do you think of that? I promise not to do a bunch of stuff while you're not looking. Might do a little bit, but not a bunch. Alrighty, let's put this. Friends, don't go broke over makeup. It's just colored powder. There is no bail money. Don't ask. I need it for myself. Keep an eye on your family and neighbors in case they need help. Do something nice for someone for no damn reason. Take care of yourself. Keep your hopes up. Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. Good trouble is the only thing that might get you help with bail money. Look it up if you need to. Alrighty, off of pause. Dinner was wonderful. Wah! Yes, tip the camera just a little bit, just to be annoying. That's me. Now, one of the things that I did with my lighting is I mixed the amber and the white. I dropped down the amount of light coming from the ring, but the ring is up and coming down this way. I've got a LCD lamp over this way that's usually my desk lamp. The monitor screen, I'm back to using the big computer again, so the monitor screen has got a little light. I've got the curtains open just a little bit, but the big overhead light is off. We'll have to see how this works as we go along. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. I was playing with Merple. Merple. Now, next. Okay, that was the raspberry color. I don't want a real burply burple. Let's try Picnic. Now, the apricot sweater I've got on is basically just an arm cover because it's been rainy here and it's a little bit chilly, and I don't want to show everybody my goosebumps. Or my naked arms, because goosebumps aren't pretty. If it was warm enough, I'd be showing off my naked flappity arms because they're the truth. They really are the truth. Yes, I'm sitting here with my mouth hanging open again. I'm going to sneak just a little bit of orange right at the edge of that. Upper crease color. Because it's got a little bit of an orange to it, but not enough to make me happy enough. This is a color called Vacation. I've pretty much forgotten what vacation is like, because when you're retired, it's not really vacation, it's just traveling. Now, let's see what else I'm going to do. Because I believe I'm starting to think about some shiny stuff. Let's see. I've got one called Heat that is definitely in the raspberry tones, and one called Stargazing that is definitely in the orange tones. See? Ha! I think I'm going to tap some of that heat back here just a bit. And then that stargazing is going right there. Now, while I tell you to do not do the windshield wiper with the brushes, doing a little bit of a wipe with your finger with the shiny stuff is the best way to get the foil effect intensified. Yeah, you can do it with a brush and some spray. But I still think this looks better. That's a rather interesting look. Let's see what I'm going to do to the inner corner. Or maybe I'll do the inner corner after I do some other stuff. Just because. Plus, I've got another little palette down here that I may steal a piece of. Plus I've got the e.l.f. Prism palette that I have used to death, in case you can't tell. And all it is shimmery stuff. Shimmery stuff. So, now, this is one of those liquid lip liners that I pick up from AOA. I like them. It's got kind of like a little ball on the end. It's not a roller. It's just a ball. And for some reason, it's really good at doing the edges. Now, this liner is called Raspberry. And this is currently my only Beauty Baker lipstick that I got before everything started going wonky. And it's called Picnic on Peachtree. And I'm of the opinion it goes pretty well with the eye look. What do you think? Just remember, getting older is a privilege. Not everybody gets the privilege. Enjoy it. Live it like you mean it. It's your life. They're your choices. Don't let anybody tell you different. Live your life so that the Westboro Church shows up to protest your funeral. Anyway, I will see you later.